And we're live.
Hey everybody. So, you guys stand around this little fire. Mo has gone over and gotten his goat. He's tending to it, petting it, making sure it's in good condition. Turns around and says, "Well, thank you guys. Little Bessie here was about to be roast. But there's still a bunch more missing. Don't know why these ones pulled off."
Shall we continue following the kobold tracks?
I believe we should.
Yes, let's hit the road.
Come on, Bessie. He uses
Should we
the vine
bring
to...
fire for any reason? Because we do have this fire. It is a resource we could use.
I mean, is anybody hungry?
Hey now, we need her.
Small smirk. Oh, good. All right. I was just kidding.
I do not know what you mean. I do not eat fire. But it seems we do not need this fire, so let us continue. And I start walking.
I look around to see what they left behind, to see if there's any info there. Like, is it just straight up the fire, or was there anything else?
This is pretty crude.
Okay.
There's like a little fire that's been going, and there's some sticks that have been set up like they're about to make a spit for the goat, and the goat tied up, and they got one of those spears just about ready to skewer the goat. But there's no paper, there's no markings. There's a little pile of kobold waste off next to the bush, but that's it.
Okay. Anybody need a spear? Guess not. Let's go.
I'll just do a quick look to see if any of the kobolds have like a pouch bag on any of them.
Oh yeah, any of the ones we killed?
Yes. One of them has, well, there's a small little kobold type backpack. It's a bunch of leaves that have been sewn together with twigs off on one side, and then there's a leather pouch on one of them.
Oh, I'll take the pouch. I'm looking inside.
Opening the pouch, you find that it contains 6, not 5, but 6 dead lizards.
Nice.
Nice. What about the backpack?
There's some rosemary in there, as well as a couple of pretty rocks. And I don't mean like valuable gems. I mean like the sort of rock that you go to the ocean, you're like, oh, this rock's nice, and then you take it home, and the next week you're like, why do I have this rock sitting on my shelf?
Actually, I changed my mind about the spears, and I say we should put them in the fire so that those weapons can't be used again. Or bring them back to town so that our citizens have something to fight with.
I don't think they're very interested in these sticks, these crudely made ones. Do the lizards look like just snacks, from what I can tell?
Maybe they're like dead blueberry lizards. They're just...
By the way, I started walking and I'm still walking. I was walking in the direction of the footprints.
I hurry up and toss the sticks in the fire and follow my.
Yep, I quickly try to catch up too.
Okay. So you guys take off following them. After winding its way through the inland hills between two mountains, the trail leads to what appears to be a cave or a mine shaft leading into Mount Gull, the smaller of the two mountains. Trees and bushes pepper the area, giving plenty of cover, while the muddy entrance over before the cave is overrun with goat and kobold tracks, making it difficult to count their numbers. Can I get a perception check from everybody? That would be a d20 plus your perception score.
Why don't we all tell what our perception score is, since people don't know?
That would be good.
My perception is 13.
So that's above average. Mine is 10, which is just average.
9, slightly below.
My perception is 6, but I just rolled at 18. So...
Oh, dang, that nat 20.
Do you say your perception was 9, Trump?
Yeah.
So that's
29
29 total. That's pretty good. So as you
31.
are all looking around this cave, Bruno spots 4 little kobolds squatting in a tree, whispering to each other and pointing at you guys.
Kobolds in a tree whispering and pointing at us?
Only Bruno sees.
Oh.
I'll whisper to Jen, bow, aim at tree now. And I'll just take out my bow, and when it looks like she's ready to fire, I'll fire.
Okay, so I'll say, they're in the tree. And then I take out my
So
bow.
while you guys are taking out your bows, like trying to not look too directly at the kobolds, one of them gives a shriek, and they all jump out of the tree and start making for the mine, squabbling loudly in kobold, going.
Do we get to fire?
Yes, to go from there's plenty of cover around, but the mine entrance itself is pretty open, so both of you will get one attack off.
One
while
back
the
attack
kobolds-
off.
One back attack off while the kobolds flee for the mine shaft.
So how's my bonus gonna play out in
+2 to hit for back attack. So
Okay, let me write it down.
Bruno, that's a d20 +2 for you, and Albert, you already have a +3, one for Elf, 2 for Dex, so this is gonna be d20 +5, which is insane for first level.
22. I don't know about
Hit, crit, Albert, and Bruno, you miss.
Darn.
Please mark
So
off ammunition.
do I get bonus damage for back attack as a thief, or what?
Yes, you are multi-class thief. Back attack gives you double damage, or extra damage die. So you can do 3d6 to this creature who has 1d4 hit points.
So it's usually 2d6. If it's a back attack, it's 2d6, but since it's a crit, it's 3d6, correct?
Yeah, the back attack just adds 1 damage die, and the
I was
crit
just
adds
making
1
sure
damage
I
die.
understood so that I'd never ask you again. 11.
Yeah, you skewer him. He impales himself on the ground, twitches for a moment, lets out his last cry, and stops moving. The other 3 kobolds scamper for the cave entrance, yelling what you can only presume to be "Humans are here!" as they run.
Did you mean 5? Or 3?
Three.
Okay.
The other 3 flee. Yes.
Do we see any goats?
You see a lot of goat tracks leading up into the mine, but you don't see any goats about.
Quick, let's run in behind them.
I immediately start running behind them as soon as he says that.
They probably know we're coming.
That's
don't
good.
hear that
It
'cause I'm
means
running.
that it means their kobold traps won't get us if we go in right behind them. As I also take off.
If there's another entrance to the cave, but do I know Neil? Is there another? I don't know.
This is an old abandoned mine. You may not have ever been here before, actually.
Okay. I guess let's go, but let's be careful. I walk behind you.
I already ran in. Immediately, like the second that Bongo said, let's run in after them, I immediately
Oof.
ran.
Well, I'm kind of with Albert. I'm, like, all right, if you guys are going in, that's fine. Maybe Algrund and Albert, the 2 owls. We're just, we're moseying on
I
in.
like it.
We're less convinced. We're less, gung ho than you guys are, but we'll follow. We'll catch up. You do you. We'll catch up.
I probably don't hear that.
Actually, I voluntarily let a couple of space between us, so that if kobolds kind of want to attack, they might forget that I'm even there, possibly.
Yeah. They'll go for, that crazy half-horse lady who's just, running through their cave, disrupting their life.
So it looks like Maribel's charging in, Bruno behind her, and then Algrom and Albert behind them.
Yeah,
Far
Okay.
behind them.
far
Far,
behind.
Moseying.
far behind them.
Moseying. At
Taking
best.
their time.
Taking
Like
our
20
sweet
feet
time.
behind or
At
something.
least.
All right, Maribel, you reach the front entrance of the cave, and it's pretty dim in there. You see a bunch of tracks moving in, and then you see these eyes kind of reflecting what little light is there, kind of like cats in the darkness, just shining out at you. There's got to be at least 10 pairs of eyes, maybe more.
I reach for one of the pairs of eyes to determine
Okay,
whether
they're like 20 feet in at this point.
Can I determine anything about what kind of creature may have such eyes?
You presume kobolds,
Are
probably.
they sentient? Like when I saw them talking, do I know that they're sentient creatures?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
they wear clothes, they use tools, they talk. In theory, someone could even learn the kobold language.
So I lower my head and I'm like in charge stance and I have these horns. So it's like really, it's frightening when I look up at you from like under my horns.
Hmm.
And I'm like, relinquish the goats or I shall lethal spank you.
Lethal spank. Oh my god.
And then I'm really pleased when I hear Bongo laugh because I am not very good at telling jokes. And I'm really proud of myself that I just told a joke. I look very pleased with myself.
I shall little spank you.
Yeah, exactly.
The eyes kind of continue to blink and appear and disappear. And then they all start to like scoot back in the cave and get further and further from you.
Yeah,
This
well,
is not what I
pull out a
asked you
torch
to do.
And light it.
You light a. Do you have a torch?
Yep,
It's on your character sheet?
it sure is.
We like
All
all
right.
the same things, Trump. We like went shopping together. We have all
Aw.
the same stuff. Because I have a torch too.
Okay.
I have
You
a
light the
torch as well.
torch.
I also light a torch.
Okay.
I also have flint and steel in case anybody needs to use it.
So you
And
guys
I
spend a
also have
moment.
it. We clearly played a lot of D&D.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, all right, I got a 50 feet of rope, got flint and steel, feeling great about myself. How about you? I got 50 feet of rope.
So the two of you have your torches lit. You're both standing at the entrance to the cave. The kobolds have retreated fairly far. The torch gives you about 20 feet of light, 10 feet of bright light, 10 feet of dim light. So the kobolds are well beyond that, but you can see into the cave now. You see there are lots of tracks and prints, and the cave floor is just muddy and gross. Water drips off the walls, and there's the smell of wet earth emanating from the insides of the cave, along with stale air.
I say, even if the ale is stale, I'll still drink it.
There are no signs of the goats at this point, but there are a bunch of tracks that lead in here. Like the whole herd of goats comes here, and there's no goat tracks going anywhere else. So you know that the goats and the kobolds must be in this cave together.
I continue following the goat tracks with a complete lack of fear. I just have no respect for these kobolds
Does
whatsoever.
Maribel usually use a two-handed weapon? Is that halberd two-handed?
Yes, it is. It's two-handed with a 10-foot reach. Now, Maribel, inside this cave, the ceiling is kind of low. It's a fairly wide cave, but the ceiling's a little bit low. So if you're going to use your halberd in here, you're going to get some attack penalties just because it's such a big weapon and this is such a narrow space.
So if I were to use my longsword, I would not have
You'd be
any.
totally fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you usually
So-
do that with one or two hands, the longsword?
I think it's one-handed for me, right, Neil?
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because otherwise I could be your torchbearer, and you could focus on that.
Ah, yeah. I think I'll pull out my longsword just to make sure I don't have any penalties.
Okay. You stow your halberd, draw a longsword and a torch, and move into the cave. The kobolds inside chitter and gibber at you, and then there's a and they run right at you. Can I get again initiative rolls for just the party? For just group initiative, a D10 for the party and a D10 for the kobolds.
Who wants to roll it this time?
Not me. I'm bad at
Okay.
rolling.
Awesome. Oh, that's good because we want low. Yeah.
Low is
Oh,
good.
we want low. Hooray.
These kobolds start to swarm at you, but you guys manage to get your shit together before they reach you. Algrund and Albert, are you still pretty far away from them? Or have you caught all the way up to the entrance of the cave?
I would say we're still approaching them. We're not as close to the kobolds as they are, but we're kind of maybe walking up as we see this fight breaking out.
Okay. Well, Maribel is pretty big. and Bruno is still bigger than the kobolds. So with all these kobolds swarming towards them, you can't get a clear shot at any of the kobolds without risking hitting Maribel or Bruno from your range. So you guys are free to make attacks on this round, but if you miss a kobold, I will make you roll against either Maribel or Bruno. That make sense?
No, sorry, could you repeat that?
Albert and Algrund, you're pretty far away. Maribel's 7 feet tall. Bruno's 3.5 feet tall. The kobolds are only 3 feet tall. So Maribel and Bruno are blocking your view of these kobolds. If you want to attack
we don't
the
even
kobolds,
know
you
the
may,
kobolds. Okay, well, what we're
but
gonna
if you
miss.
miss the kobolds, you might hit Maribel or Bruno.
I'm not gonna attack them. Plus, I only have 2 HP left. I don't want to fight.
Okay. Cool.
Is it possible for me to stand back and study my 3 spells for the day and learn them now?
It takes 10 minutes to learn each spell.
So can I
So you
like
could
back
do it in the
up?
middle of
Like,
combat, but
how long are they gonna be in combat for?
who knows?
Probably not 10 minutes.
I'm not gonna want to get in combat. There's nothing else I'm gonna want to do in this fight. So
Okay. You sit back and pray to
Dorboff
Dorboff
and Guam.
and Guam for spells.
My
Go ahead and look at your
homies.
spells and tell me which
All
ones
right.
you're gonna try and get. It's 10-minute per spell, and we'll just come in after 10 minutes with you.
Can I
Jen?
try to hide in shadows?
Yeah.
Well, I tried
What is
to
your
hide to
chance
make
to
sure
hide
that they
shadows?
didn't see me, and then I use my hide in shadows, which is 35% success.
Okay.
Basically, I'm
Cool.
trying to get a surprise on them. Like, I figured since we're walking behind, they're probably focused on the big person with the torch. I might not be detected yet.
Sure. Okay. That leaves Maribel and Trump. Maribel and Bruno. There are a mass of kobolds.
You want me to roll
10,
for hide in
12. I rolled in secret.
Okay.
And you always think that you're hiding in shadows. Maribel and Bruno, these kobolds are swarming towards you. You get your weapons out in time, and you can go before they reach you. What do you do?
All right.
I-
Do you think you can take them? If so, we can stand our ground.
Absolutely. And I get into like a warrior crouch and I'm ready to just like cleave with my long sword. And I say, get behind me, drum playing man.
Okay. I take a bit of a step back so that she's the front, but I make sure that the kobolds can't just get to our members in the back. And I'm waiting for them with my dagger.
Okay, so you guys can get a free attack off each. Well, not a free attack. You can get an attack at them as they clash into you. So, Maribel, you're in the front. Why don't you take the first attack as the swarm of kobolds run at you? And you notice a lot of them don't have weapons. They're like running at you without weapons.
Cool. Hand-to-hand combat. There's no modifiers on my longsword, right?
Nope.
Were you saying you were
Always a
gonna
hit.
cleave Anna, or are you doing standard shots?
Is there a difference,
cleave.
Neil, if I say I'm
No,
cleaving?
no cleaves. No cleaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a D8. I should
Or
dispatch
you
one.
You rip the first kobold to shreds. And actually, you will get 2 attacks of opportunity, I believe, because the other ones are making an overbear attack at you. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Bruno, one of them is coming on to the side of Maribel, well within range of your... What are you using as a weapon?
Dagger.
Well
I'll stab
within
it.
range of your dagger. Give me an attack roll. 11 is a hit. Give me a d4 for damage.
Yes.
That's enough. That kobold sinks to the ground, writhing in pain.
My mighty attack.
Well done.
Maribel, you give me 2 attacks of opportunity as these kobolds tried to overbear you. 10 is a hit, and 17 is a hit.
Is that a crit?
No.
No.
Give me some damage rolls there.
No.
3 and 1. You dispatch one, you do not dispatch the other.
But I leave him not happy.
You leave him very unhappy.
How many
No one likes being
minutes?
stabbed.
How many minutes has it been?
Not even one.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you what my battle cry was when I charged in toward them.
Give it to us.
It was like a cow that's angry.
Actually, warriors get to make 3 attacks of opportunity, not 2. So you can make a third at another kobold that's charging you, but there's like 10 of them swarming at you. So give me your
I'm
third
really
attack of
angry,
opportunity,
I'm mooing up a storm.
and give me a damage roll for that. That
Wait,
dispatches as
Yeah.
well. Okay,
I got kobold guts all over me.
Between the two of you, you've cut down 4 of them as they charge at you. However, the rest of them are still standing, and they make an overbear attack at Maribel. Literally, they're just like leaping on you and trying to drag you to the ground, Maribel. Let's see how an overbear attack.
I'm goring them with my horns too. Do I have
What
stats
happens
for my
if she
horn?
attacks with her horns? Yeah, like
Yeah,
if
are they
her
like a dagger stabby attack?
Your horns would do d6 damage,
Yeah.
but you would use them instead of a weapon in that particular round.
Do they have a speed?
3.
3 for my horns? Wouldn't they be quicker than like a normal thing since they're attached to my head?
That you use your size modifier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Because a
good.
dagger is a
pretty
little bit
cool.
faster than like stabbing with your head. You know, a head stab is much slower than whipping your hands back and forth. Here we go. Overbear attack. Overbear attack. LMNOP. +1 for each additional attacker. Attack is made against the defender's natural armor class. They must make an opposed strength check. Okay, so the kobolds leap onto you and try and drag you to the ground. I need you to give me a strength check. You get a +4 bonus because the kobolds are so much smaller than you.
Yeah.
They get a bonus for each additional person that is trying to drag you to the ground. And there are... How many kobolds are there?
So strength +4, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Can't hold me down.
About 12 of them are attacking you. Oh, that's a bad check for them. 12, 14, 24. Oh my god, you got a
Get
35?
I'm just like standing
Okay.
here with my arms up like this, and I'm shaking them off my horns, and I'm just going.
They're crawling on you. Some of them are hanging off your biceps. Some of them are on your chest. Some of them are on their backs. Their weight is pulling you down and slowing you, but you manage to stay on your feet.
I look epic AF, by the way, because I'm like covered in guts. I'm like super buff, and I'm flexing, and I'm holding kobolds up at the same time, and they're like trying to pull me down. I'm this immovable thing. I look amazing right now.
Looks like you've got yourself a Halloween costume.
I wish I had more time. I would totally make it.
Yeah. 1 minute has passed. Roll initiative. Somebody for your team.
I'll do it. Sorry.
What was your roll? 7. The kobolds go first again.
I'm so hidden right now.
They continue to try to overbear you. So give me another strength check, Anna.
Okay. With the +4 modifier again?
Yes. Oh, here we go. Plus
Not as good.
26, 36 for them total. Yeah, so this time they drag you to the ground, and you just like fall flat on your back, sword in one hand, kobolds all over you. Maybe you had a torch with you, right? So your sword and your torch are waving around as these kobolds swarm over you, and you hear from the back of the cave a "Kakama!" and Bruno, you can't see this, Maribel, because you're all on your back. Bruno, you see another 5 kobolds. These ones actually have like little spears start charging towards you guys.
I don't know why, but I think it's hilarious because they're so small. I just imagine it's like, ah! Yeah,
How
like,
many are left, Neil? Because I've killed quite a few already.
You've killed quite a few. There's more than a dozen in front of you right now with these guys
What?
that are charging. There's a
I
lot
thought
of
there
them.
were only 12. And I killed like 5.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh. Well,
These 5 come in with their spears and they start skewering towards you. There's not a lot of room because you're covered in kobolds, and these guys are pretty terrible at combat. So they stab the ground all around you without hitting you once.
while being super
I
proud
can't
of
even
themselves.
begin to tell you how poorly these kobolds have rolled.
They're like, yeah! Get him! Good job, guys. We're doing it.
I snort at them in derision.
Hi.
Okay. Whoops, that's 5. Bruno. Actually, the entire party, it's your turn. Maribel, you can attack, but you are covered in kobolds and on your back, so you're going to get a penalty of 4 to your attack.
Can I do any kind of defensive, like roll away from them kind of maneuver, like a get out from under them type of check?
You could spend your turn doing a strength check to try and stand up.
I couldn't like try to get away. I could only stand up with them hanging on me.
I mean, have you ever played with a bunch of dogs and they just like literally pile on you and you're covered in dogs, and if you try and roll away, it doesn't really do too much because there's so many of them. They're just like, there's dogs
How many
everywhere.
dogs have you dealt with?
No, I'm totally tracking with you, Neil. But I'm thinking,
Yeah, okay.
I've been covered in dogs. But if you're like covered in dogs, right? Then you want to be like, huh! You know, like you want to like burst of strength, get them off you, and then stand
Yeah.
up. Not just like,
Yeah, that would be.
I'm standing up with all the dogs on me. You know what I mean?
That's what the strength check would be to be like knock some of them off you and push
Okay.
yourself up. Yeah.
Okay. An explosive stand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on, Anna. I believe.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
D20
Make your-
plus 17. That should be pretty good.
29 against their. No, there's still too many of them on you. There's like 10 of them hanging on you right now, and they just drag you to the ground as you like burst your way up a little bit, and then right back on your back.
Damn, this is not going too well. We might have taken.
Bruno, you're right next to her.
Yeah.
You sing me a buffing song?
I'm going to stab at one of the kobolds with a spear.
Okay, go for it. Ah, nice, you critical the kobold. Give me 2d4 damage. Well, there you go. Yeah, he only had 4 life to begin with, so you drop him to the ground. Albert, you are hanging outside, hiding behind, within a bush at the base of a tree. You can see all this stuff happening from afar. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'd like to shoot at one of the kobolds. Is that doable
Good.
now that Anna's on
It
the...
is. Now that they are swarming all over Maribel, you can get a clear shot.
Alright. Do I get a back attack? No? Yes?
No, they're facing you.
I'll always try. D20 plus 3.
Hmm.
Oh, do I get surprise?
Yes, that's a 1 for surprise.
Ah.
Nope. Arrow tings off the inside of the cave.
Oh, shit.
Algrund, you are there memorizing spells and prayer to your gods.
How long has it been? How many minutes?
It's been 1 minute and 30 seconds. Through your prayers, you're vaguely aware that there's a commotion going on in the cave, but you're deep in focus here. And can we get another initiative roll for the party?
Go Jet.
Actually, Albert, you get a second attack at the end of the round.
I don't get a second?
Nope. That's only with your halberd every other round.
Oh. I should have just brought in my halberd.
Albert, second attack. Dark Albert.
Oh,
second
me?
attack.
I get 2 attacks?
You have a bow.
Sorry, I didn't understand. Oh,
Nope.
God.
Complete miss again. Mark off another 2 pieces of ammo. Can
Sad.
someone roll initiative for the party, please?
Sure, I got it. Ah,
Nice.
Nice. You guys go first.
I shoot again! I'm sad. So I guess no more surprise?
No more surprise.
So sad. Ah. So that's a hit, right?
Yeah, I don't see the roll. Yes.
14.
Yes, that is a hit.
2.
You drop that kobold to the ground.
Hey! Dark Albert.
I'm stabbing at another one with a spear. One of the ones with a spear, I mean. Darn.
Okay.
Where is that dwarf? I shout as I stab.
Me,
Anna.
I'm back here learning my spells.
We're kind of fighting, you know.
I know no fighting. Fuck off! I'm trying to learn my spells. Do you want heals or not?
This morning.
Maribel, it's your turn.
I
Not
guess
a
I'm
morning
gonna keep trying to
person.
stand up.
Okay.
That
Ooh,
time.
30 versus their... No way.
What?
They rolled way better.
Stupid
They get bonuses
kobold.
for each additional kobold.
Well,
However,
at least I'm keeping them busy while the other one's
You
half
count
away
the
at them.
dead ones.
I have counted the dead ones.
Okay. I'm trying.
The number of kobolds has dwindled significantly from the original amount that you don't know.
What? We would have seen with our eyes, Neil.
Yeah, but there are a lot of kobolds in the dark, and you don't get an exact count when there's just like eyes everywhere and they're blinking and moving, you know? The kobolds check morale, and their morale is broken. They started with, I'll just tell you, they started with 22 of them, and they are down to 15, and they are not happy about losing 7 members. They may have you pinned to the ground right now, but now there's arrows flying in through the front cave, and there's a dwarf. No, you're a human, right, Bruno?
Yeah, human.
Yeah.
Is a human just stabbing at them and ripping them to shreds, and the kobolds break. They flee and just swarm out the cave in a giant, like, hurtled mass past Bruno, who
Can I
gets
try to
one
catch one by the hoof or by the paw as it runs away from me?
You may. Give me just a melee attack, a d20 to grab one of them. Bruno, make an attack roll. Albert, you don't get any attacks of opportunity.
But wouldn't I be able to do one attack, like not of opportunity, since I'm...
You'll still get your attacks for the turn, for the round. Did you already make your attacks this round?
Did I? Did I? I'm not sure.
Let's see. Where was the initiative roll? Yeah, you already made your attacks this round.
Oh no, I had a dream of doing the scare thing to put them back into the cave. I'm so sad right now. That was my
Maribel-
plan from the whole time. I was like, I'll stand at the entrance point. When they come running, I'll do the...
Maribel, you grab one. You also wouldn't have been able to cast a spell. That would have to be picked at the beginning. You can't cast a spell as an attack of opportunity. Maribel, you grab one by the paw.
I grab it
What do you
and
wanna do with
I stand up and I just hold it out like this, like in front of me. And
Okay.
I present it to Bruno and I say, this one might have information as to the whereabouts of the goats.
He is screaming and scratching and just like flailing while you hold him upside down by his
I'm
foot.
completely ignoring him. Just holding him like a chicken.
Do you speak Kobold, Maribel?
No, I do not. I speak a little bit of Minotaurian.
Then I'm afraid this one won't help, and I'm ready to like stab it with my dagger, unless someone wants to stop me.
Magical ones. Do you have any magical way of communicating?
Wait, is this already over? Are they out? Did I not?
Yeah, they swarm out the cave just in this giant like herd of animals and break for the forest.
And I didn't get one shot.
You can get your second attack for the round at one of them as they disappear into the woods.
I'll do it. Oh, back attack, right?
Yep.
3, 4, 5. 10.
You hit.
Yeah. Yeah. 6
Okay,
damage.
that's another one bites the dust.
Yay. Dark
We did it.
Albert.
Team.
Okay. So then I
Okay.
come back into the cave. And I
You
say,
guys stand about in the cave.
I guess
No?
the goats should be in here. We should look around. Luckily, I have brought a torch. And then I see that you have a torch, and I'm really disappointed.
But remember, I asked both Dark Albert the elf and Algrund if they had any magical method of communicating with this creature.
Algrund is still outside in prayer.
I'm still learning my 3 spells for the day, and spoiler alert, none of them allow me to communicate with that asshole. Pardon me, with that gentleman. I'm fluent in French, you see.
So I actually could tomorrow comprehend what he says, but I don't think I can talk to him. That's like the weird part. Is that accurate, Neil? It comprehend languages?
I don't know. Read the spell.
When the spell is cast, the wizard is able to understand the spoken words of a creature or read an otherwise incomprehensible, message, such as writing in another language. In either case, the wizard must touch the creature or the writing, so that this ability to read does not necessarily impact understanding of the material, nor does the spell enable the caster to speak or write an unknown language.
So you can understand, but you cannot speak.
I'm afraid that we don't have a day, so would you let me do the honors, Maribel? And
By all means, be my guest.
all right, I just slice its throat.
Okay, it dies.
I try to hand the kobold to Bruno.
I take the kobold.
I let her take it.
I take a spear and put the spear through the kobold's head, and then I go outside in front of the cave and put it as a warning sign to the kobold.
Whoa. That's
So there's a
hardcore,
spear
man.
going like underneath the chin
Yeah.
into this kobold's head, and its body's just like hanging off the back
Oh,
of
man.
That's what
Oh.
I'm doing.
it. Okay.
And then I have a small, creepy grin on my face once again.
I didn't know you had such artistic ability, Alberto.
When Bruno says artistic ability, I contemplate it.
I like to call
I'll take
it
it this way.
nature morte. I don't know how it's called in English. Nature morte. How's it
Mo
called?
comes creeping up. Oh.
I'm looking for a translation for nature morte. Ah, still life. That's
Oh,
boring.
still life, because in French it means dead life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like dead. Yeah.
Like, yeah,
That's a funny joke in French.
Damn it! Actually, Albert still says it, and it's actually in Elvish that it's funny, so he thinks it's funny.
Nice. Mo Shepherd comes up a little bit later, poking his head around, going, "Is it safe in here now?"
Yes.
Yeah, we should wait for we should wait for
Algrind.
though.
Algrind.
From what I think I know from hanging out with him, we should shake him at about 10 minutes.
Well, it's already been like what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's been a few.
Few.
Each spell it takes 10 minutes. So if you want to learn 3 spells, it'll take you half an hour.
Well, the spell I've been working on for the past, 2 minutes, was Entangle.
Okay.
I kind of gently, to try not to break his concentration, I'll be like, once you learn that first spell, we should go, so that the goats don't spook. I think they're probably in here.
I say we can start to explore. The kobold seems to have left.
I start looting the dead kobolds.
I retrieve my arrows. Ha!
How many arrows did you fire, Jen?
Oh, no, more than that.
No, you fired way more than 2.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mark them up. Wait. 3, 4. 4? Yeah, I would say 4.
You can retrieve one of them. The others are broken or unable to be found.
Okay.
So eventually, Algrun
Did I
finishes.
find anything?
his spell. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys are searching the cave. The cave goes back a ways, maybe 200 feet in. So as you explore the cave, you come across a large flock of goats.
How
About
is looting the dead
150 feet in.
kobolds?
They are disappointingly bare.
Do they have?
Some of
They
them
have
have a
daggers,
couple of
though.
small bags. They've got like these crappy spears. A few of them have really crappy daggers. I mean, just like pieces of metal, like pieces of bronze that have been used for other tools that they've strapped to sticks.
Okay.
You guys make it to the back of the cave.
Okay.
And
I
behind this
borrow
sort of
the
cave.
torch to. No, I guess I won't do that now. But I suggest we burn all the sticks once again to disarm the enemy.
Wait, what? What do you want to burn?
Their weapons.
I suppose if you think that they will be a threat in the future, we could spend time doing that. Small person.
I'm 6 foot tall.
Well, you think like a small person.
I will not take this as an insult for this one time, but you should be careful what you say to who you say.
That sounds like a riddle. I do not have time for such things. Let us get the goats.
Yeah.
So I start trying to herd the goats. Or I ask Mo to herd the goats.
Can we see inside the entire cave? Like, is it all, or is there more cave to it? I don't want to go
So you
too
get
far.
the goats, and the cave continues onward ways. It's mine, really.
Okay.
How many goats are there?
The whole flock is here. Mo counts them out and goes, "By golly, they're all here! We must have gotten just in time."
So there are 49 after Bessie.
Yup.
Wow!
There's Jangles, there's Gilly, there's Brawn, there's Boar, and he just starts naming all of his goats and pointing to them.
I listen patiently as he names every single one.
He gets to the end. You're not sure if he might have like pointed to the same goat a few times. There's a lot of them. They all look the same to you, but he named 50 goats.
Alright, well, I guess for now we got what we were looking for. Is the cave, like, closed up, or is there more paths and stuff in here?
The mine continues backwards further.
You guys
Does
wanna
this
take a
place
short
look like some kind of like common area? Is there anything? Is this where kobolds might hang out, or are they just using it as a pen?
There doesn't seem to be any sign of kobold habitation at this point of the mine.
I continue forward with my torch into the back of the cave and look around.
When you reach the back of the mine shaft, there's a pit with a small ladder against it, and it looks like there's a second level below.
Do I see how deep the pit might be by holding my torch over it?
Looks to be about 15 feet down.
I test the ladder. Does it seem to think? Do I seem to think it'll hold me?
How much do you weigh?
350 pounds.
It creaks under your weight, but it doesn't break as you test it. There's only one way to know for sure if it'll hold your weight.
I yell, smaller team members, please join me. I have found a ladder.
Oh, look who's useful now.
At this point, Algrund joins you guys. It took a while to listen to Mo count out all his sheep.
Alright, Algren. Looks like we've got a use for you since you didn't fight. Go down that.
I have 3 HP. What do you expect me to do? Do you want me to cure you or not? I have to learn these spells each day, and you guys just don't appreciate me at all. Whatever!
You're speaking many words. However, we have asked you to descend the ladder.
Fine.
Wait, we found the goats. Why are we going down?
Just taking a look. Curiosity.
Okay, let's make it quick though. Let's
Yeah,
not.
just a little bit.
And maybe if all of the kobolds escaped, maybe there's still treasure here.
So, Algrund, you descend the ladder. I hope someone is handing you a torch, because it's pretty dark down there. I mean,
I'll
you are a
give her my
dwarf, so
torch.
you can see in the night, in the dark a little bit, but you still need some semblance of light to see. So with the torch, you head down. This lower section is actually much, much smaller. The top was a full-on mine shaft. This area looks like it was under construction when it was abandoned. It's 20 feet long, 15 feet wide, and that's pretty much it. You see a bunch of broken tools. There's some pickaxes that have been just kind of damaged and shattered. There's actually one full-fledged, fully intact pickaxe that isn't damaged in any way, shape, or form. And there's also a small altar of some kind. There's various stones stacked up in a clearly purposeful way. And on the wall behind them is a very crude painting of some sort of ferocious beast with a fearsome face. You can't make out what it is, but there's definitely some sort of like altar and a picture put up here.
Anything interesting down there?
I don't know if you'd call this interesting or not, but, you know, there's some sort of altar.
Ah, let me take a look.
Please. See if you can identify it. These are not the gods to whom I have prayed in the past. However, feel free to take a look.
It's really crude, you know.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like there's no language in there, right? It's more just drawings.
It seems to just be a drawing. It's a weird face. It might have some whiskers on it, maybe. And it's in like a position. You can't tell if it's supposed to be a kobold or a human or a bird. Like, there's a face, but it's hard to make out what exactly it is.
What about the altar? Do I see this as a setup for any type of magic? Does it tell me anything based on my knowledge of, like...
Well, there's an altar. Clerics use altars. Priests use altars. There's usually some sort of religious ceremony involved with it.
Well, so even though these are not the gods, these are not Dorbath and Guam, you know, this altar is obviously not constructed for my personal gods. As the group cleric, I think I'll approach the altar and I'll try some sort of prayer. And I will try to kind of ask the gods for, you know, even though I'm not, you folks are not my main gods, still I entreat you to listen to my prayers. And, you know, we have this group of adventurers. We were from this island that got wiped out, and we were sent to essentially try and save our island. We're looking for our goats right now that got lost. And I just entreat you to please help us in any way you can, O wonderful gods.
There's resounding silence coming back. No one answers your prayers. You don't even feel the presence that you would normally feel when praying to your gods.
Well, I'm the worst fucking cleric that ever clericked, so...
I don't see any inscriptions on the altar, like any religious symbols.
No, it's like someone had a bunch of rocks and they just stacked them in various towers.
Alright, I guess that's it. Anything else in this level, or that's...
There's a bunch of broken tools and one intact steel pickaxe. If you remember, this is kind of a Bronze Age island, or continent.
Might come in handy in the future. I guess I'll add it to my character sheet.
Nice.
Okay.
You guys exit the little area down there, back up to the main cave, and why don't we take our second break here, and we'll finish out the campaign in the third break, or in the third act.
Yep. Alright.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. This break will probably be shorter because we don't have as many tech difficulties to fix for you. So,
Hopefully. And I love you, because that's very confident.
We'll be back in just a few minutes. Again, we will run a few commercials. It helps us out if you watch them. But if you don't, we're just glad you're here and hope that you think really positive thoughts about yourself.
Yep.
So we'll see you in a few minutes.
And also take this opportunity to consider subscribing if you enjoy what we do here on Twitch. Yeah, shameless plugs. Alright, we'll see you guys after the break. Bye.